What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today I'm very excited to bring you guys the most freaking awaited fortnight that we've had in a very long time, being Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard is absolutely insane, and it's crazy that we're actually getting him right now. It's actually going to be very difficult because currently on Global, if you guys do play Global, you guys know that we don't have that many good quick units, so this is going to be a little bit of a tricky fortnight, more of a 24-hour dungeon, 24-hour raid boss. So I hope you guys just sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and we're going to break down everything there is to know about this 24-hour raid boss being Blackbeard. So, as we like to do, guys, let's go ahead and break down the actual unit itself, Blackbeard. Now, here we have Blackbeard, who is a 5-star strength shooter type character. So, interestingly enough, we are getting a brand new shooter unit into One Piece Treasure Cruise Global version. He's a strength shooter, so very similar to Mr. 5, who is also a strength shooter. And at level 1, this is the 5-star version. You will drop the 4-star version and then evolve it into the 5-star version at level 70. So, at level 1, in the 5-star version, he has 1,338 health, 744 attack, and 18 recovery. When you max him out at the maximum level of level 99, he has a little over 3k health, 1,418 attack. That is massive. One of the highest attacking units in the game, and 83 recovery. So definitely very low recovery, but he makes up for it with his health and attack. Now his captain effect is absolutely crazy. So it doubles damage received. So it means that if someone was going to deal 10,000 damage to you, you would take 20,000. Now, if you do have a double Blackbeard team, you actually take 4 times the amount of damage. So that means if you're about to take 10,000 damage, you would take 40,000 damage. But he makes up for that later on, as we'll get into it. So he boosts the attack of strength characters by 2.5 times. Very powerful boost there. And their HP as well by 2.25 times. So if you have a double Blackbeard team, you can just imagine the immense power that you're getting. You're getting 6.25 times attack, and it's something around about 5 times health, which is crazy good for strength units. So it's like a better Kuma in a way, but you know, double damage received it is a little bit of a hefty cost, but he's special. This is why his captain effect works so well with his special. Now, it starts at 30 turns and it maxes out at 15 turns, meaning you're going to have to get 15 skill ups, which is going to be very difficult. But he deals 10 times the damage received in the previous turn in typeless damage to all enemies. So this is actually crazy. So if we take that example, you're about to take 10,000 damage. Now, if you have double Blackbeard, you're going to be taking 40,000 damage, and if you activate that special in the next turn, you will deal 400,000 damage to all enemies on your opponent's side of the field. In typeless damage, that is absolutely nuts. That is just crazy good, and you can just imagine, because you can actually take the 40,000 damage because you're getting, you know, 2.25 times health, and you've got your 2 Blackbeards there, so you can imagine you get a lot of health, you get to take a lot of damage, but then you're dealing a lot back to your opponent. So overall, Blackbeard is an absolutely amazing unit to get in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Alright, so now I'm going to break down some of the more important stages in this 24-hour dungeon. In stage 2, you actually come across a lobster and 2 daimyo turtles. Now, the daimyo turtles have 10 health and the lobster has 18 health, so you could get a maximum of 3 turns stall each turtle. And with the lobster, you can get a maximum of 5 turns. Now, I don't know if you really want to be staying there for that long to take that much damage, because as you can see, the actual turtles, they deal 1,400 damage, and the lobster deals 2,600 damage. So you don't want to be staying there for too long, but you want to get at least some type of stall when you're coming up against such a powerful raid boss in Blackbeard. So this is one of the more important stages to potentially stall on. But yeah, it's a very simple stage, but you know, just trying to inform you guys that this is the main stage where you will probably want to be stalling out, you know, trying to get your specials up, ready to face against Blackbeard. So here we have at stage 4. Now this is right before you reach Blackbeard. Now this is a very important stage. Now this is also not only important, but like it's so important in the scheme of things because it's such a difficult stage, and if you mess it up, it could actually ruin your whole run. So here at the 4th stage, you will see that there are 2 Elder Seahorses, there is a whole bunch of Navy officers, and there's 1 Bazooka officer. Now, the Elder Seahorse will have an attack that will seal one of your random units for 6 turns, which is crazy OP. You really do not want that to happen. And he has 8 health. Now, I think their defenses are reasonably low, so if you have a powerful team, you usually can break through their defense pretty quickly. But if you guys don't, like your double Jozu might struggle to break through on the first couple of attempts of attack. However, like that is just really important to get rid of those Seahorses first, otherwise you're going to be taking, one of your units to be sealed for 6 turns, and that includes your captains. So if your captains are sealed, it's going to be very difficult to move on from that stage. Now, the Navy officers, which are the 3 at the back, they will each have an attack that will seal the weak units that they're against. So if they've got the red unit here and you leave him and he gets to attack, he will seal all of your quick units on your team for 3 turns. And all of these officers here have 5 health. Again, their defense isn't that high, so you should be able to break through it pretty easily. But if they do get an attempt to attack, then yes, they will lock the unit that they are weak to on your team. And then the last unit here is the Bazooka Navy officer, who actually doesn't have a locking ability, but he's just there basically to annoy you because he's got so much health, and he's also got a pretty powerful attack. So you definitely want to take him down very quickly after taking down the Seahorses and the other officers. Otherwise, you're going to be taking a lot of damage prior to reaching the final stage in Blackbeard. So without further ado, guys, let's move on to the final stage of the dungeon, which is against the final boss, Blackbeard. Once you have beaten the first 4 stages, you will now arrive at the 40 stamina stage 5 boss, being Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard will attack you every 2 turns with an attack power of 6,032. So that is his pure attack power with no boost at all, and he has 2.58 million health, which I think is the highest amount of health on any raid boss that we've had thus far on global version. Because I do think that the previous highest was Garp at 2.1 million health, I do believe. So that is crazy to have 2.58 million health on Blackbeard here. Now, he actually does have a preemptive attack which will lock one of your bottom row units for 25 turns. And he also initiates a debuff protector for himself for 999 turns, which means you can't do anything to him regarding special effects, like you can't delay him, or you can't lower his defenses. I don't think he can be poisoned either. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, you can't like delay him, so like Golem Pound Usopp isn't that useful in this particular stage of this dungeon, but we'll go into more about that a little bit later. Moving on from that, he basically just attacks every 2 turns for no extra effect. Once he reaches 50% health though and lower, he will then silence your captain only for 1 turn every 2 turns. So once he does get a chance to attack, he will basically silence basically just your captain for 1 turn, and then you get 1 turn of attack, and then he'll lock you again, he'll lock you out with his silencing again. So it's pretty annoying having that silencing ability with him, and then once he reaches below 20% health, he will silence both you and your friend captain for a single turn every 2 turns, and then his attack power is raised from 6,032 to 8,888. So he doesn't actually deal a lot of damage. Like, he has no like powerful special that's going to knock you out in 1 hit. It's just the fact that he's going to attack you every 2 turns, and you have to be prepared for that. So that is basically all of the information that we have thus far on Blackbeard's dungeon itself. So now I'm going to go through a couple of teams that I would recommend to you guys that will be able to beat Blackbeard 100%. If you guys do have the units and specified cooldown. So let's go ahead over to those teams and break down how to beat Blackbeard. The first team that I have for you guys today is the Double Jozu Burst team, which allows you to get 4 times health and 4 times attack to all of your quick units on your team, and the crew cost that this will be is 112. Now, this team in particular makes arriving at Blackbeard so much easier, because having the 4 times health just allows you to take all the hits from the lobsters, all the hits from the turtles, allows you to stall for so long on all of the units that you come across throughout the dungeon, and also it's actually pretty easy to take down that 4th stage with this team. Just making sure that you do break through the defense of the Seahorses and the Marine Captains. So anyways, moving on from that, Brook or Capone are the units here that will potentially be locked. So when you're heading, just before you head into the dungeon, you got to make sure that the horizontal alignment of your team looks similar to this, to make sure that Capone and Brook are actually in the middle, because this will mean that they will be on your bottom 2 rows. So by doing this, if Brook is the one that's locked, you can then manipulate orbs with your Capone, and then basically just lock them with Hina, use Kaku, get massive damage in. But then again, if Capone is the one that is locked, you then have Brook to heal your HP if you need to, and then you still have access to Hina and Kaku, which is very, very nice to do a lot of burst damage. But basically, if Brook is locked, you can do lots of orb manipulation, but then if Capone is locked, you can still heal back up and do some decent damage still with this team. And this is actually a really, really solid team. I would definitely recommend this team for taking down Blackbeard. So the next team here is a Portgas DA's Quick Squad, as I like to call it. Now this will give you 6.25 times attack to all of your quick units, and your crew cost for this team in particular will be a little bit higher than the last team, being 146. Now this team is a very, very powerful team. The leads of Ace can actually be swapped out for Jozu or Boa if you really need to, but I would just recommend sticking with Ace. But as I said, you know, you can switch your friend Captain out for potentially Boa if you really want to, or you can switch it out for Jozu if you want to as well. Now with this team, the ones that will be locked, potentially be locked, it will be either Ivankov or Jinbei. Now with this team, if your Jinbei is locked, it means that you're going to have a very, very easy time, because if Jinbei is locked, you can then go ahead and use your Thatch special, which, if you guys don't know what it does, it will allow you to basically get a very, very high chance of getting quick orbs for 3 turns. Now, then you can go ahead and use Ivankov's special, which changes his orb to quick, and then has a chance to switch all of your other orbs on your team to either recovery, strength, dex, or quick. Now, because we've got Thatcher's special active, we get a higher chance of finding quick orbs, and then you can go ahead and use Kaku to basically amplify those orb effects and then burst down Blackbeard. But if that is not the case and your Ivankov is locked, you can still go ahead and use Jinbei's special, which will give himself a quick orb, and then you can still use Thatcher's special for 3 turns, you know, try and get those quick orbs and then burst him down with Kaku's special active as well. So this is a very powerful team, a lot more powerful than the Jozu team. The Jozu team is more of a stally team. However, with this team, you will be taking Blackbeard down pretty quickly if you can activate those specials when he's around about, you know, 30%. Just before he hits 20%, you want to go and activate these specials and then burst him down from there. Now, the last team that I would recommend to you guys is this team here, the Boa Hancock Team of Beauty. Now, this will give you 7.56 times attack and 2.25 times recovery to all of your quick and your psi units as well. Now, this team's focus is to burst down Blackbeard using Kaku and Hina. You know, that's a very, very powerful tandem combination, is to basically get some really good orbs, use Hina to lock them orbs, and then use Kaku to amplify the orbs for 2 turns, basically giving you 2 turns worth of burst. It's absolutely crazy. Now, you'll be saying, why is Golden Pound there? Golden Pound is there for the 4th stage, where you meet all the Marines and the Seahorses, because you can go ahead and use Golden Pound on that stage and get an extra 3 turns of stall. Now, why would you want to do that? That is basically because you got Boa Hancock on your team. Now, if Boa Hancock drops below 70% health, her captain effect does not activate. So you want to try and stall out as long as possible prior to reaching Blackbeard, because then you want to make sure that you have your Boa Hancocks ready to go, making sure that you don't drop below 70% health, otherwise this team is going to be worthless. Now you'd be saying, what is the question mark unit there? Now actually that could be a couple of things. That could be either Ivankov, or Thatch, Capone, or Jinbei. Those are the 4 units that I've recommended in the text. You can see there, Ivankov, Thatch, Capone, or Jinbei. Each of those have really, really great utility against Blackbeard. But just thinking right now, you could also use a person like Marco. Now, Marco is also another unit that you could potentially stall out for, because with Boa Hancock, she also boosts the attack and recovery of psi units. So if you bring Marco, he also gets a boost of attack, which is really, really good. And his special will fully heal you. So that means you've got 2 Boas and a Marco on your team to basically get 3 types of recovery to restore you back to full health. So this is definitely a really, really good way to go about beating Blackbeard. If you do have Hancock, if you're lucky enough to have Hancock, this is a really good team to use against Blackbeard. But anyways, guys, that is going to conclude yet another video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Now, all those teams that I recommended, those are the teams that will like 100% always beat Blackbeard. There are a couple of other teams that you could use, like you could use a Mihawk Slasher team. There are some other teams that you could use that are sort of a bit iffy. They're really luck based with their orbs, so you're really depending on, you know, getting those quick orbs through chance to beat Blackbeard, which I didn't really want to recommend those to you guys because I know that they're a little bit on the fence whether they're going to work or not. It's like 50-50 whether it's going to work. So I definitely did not want to recommend those teams, but the ones that I did recommend should 100% work against Blackbeard, no doubt about that. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.